Okay, so say hello when you're working, when you're coming on. What are we going to talk about today, guys? Hashtag money trauma. Guys, there's something about life that is shifting, and I feel that any of you guys in this group may or may not be experiencing it, but I have been coming to a lot of internal shifts. A lot of things are happening that are just like showing me like, Gisela, you got to pay attention. You got to figure this out. So what is in it for you in this 3-part series? Today, we're going to talk about why being financially confident is so much better and so much more powerful than being financially free. Okay, do any of you know what that means? Just looking at you guys, seeing who's joining me, because honestly, I had like 6 people on, which was really nice. Hey Jennifer, nice to see you. Let me just see who's here. Amazing. So I won't be able to share my screen with you like I had planned, and I had a beautiful slideshow for all of you. But let's get started because, girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do, and we are mamas, busy mamas. So you are here because you want to know what's the difference between being financially confident versus financially free, but most importantly, because you want to understand what your money traumas are and how to start working on them. Because guys, we have so much emotional attachment when it comes to money. It is painful. The more I realize, like, there's layers to how we think about money. But before we get started, guys, what I really want to encourage you to do is to be distraction free, to make this time for yourself. I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet as possible, but we both know it's me. So, I'll try to squeeze as much information as I can. So get a notepad, bring a little notebook, whatever it is, we can take down some notes because this is going to be like a jam-packed session because I'm going to share some really deep things about myself, and this is a safe place to do so, and I hope that you guys don't use it to judge me, and if you do, well, what can I do? But I'm sharing a lot of me in this because I want you guys to start getting real fucking honest about your money traumas, okay? But before we get started, like I said, let's set an intention. What's your intention for today? And let's try to get grounded in that intention. Because if you are here, if you are watching this live, it means that you are thinking about your money traumas, or you're thinking about money, or you're conscious about what money means to you. So let's set an intention. My intention for this is for us to take this time to really understand and look at what our traumas are so that we can start working and healing them, because there is so much healing, especially as women, that it has to be done when it comes to understanding money. And the reason this is so important to me is because I want to pass this on to my daughter. The things that we grew up with, the things that we have unresolved issues around and unresolved feelings around, is going to be passed down to our kids. And I want to be the stop in my family tree to stop that, okay? I don't want to have people continue feeling this way, and I don't want my daughter to inherit that from me. So this is why I want to talk about this today, okay? So get curious, stay open-minded. That's all I ask of you, okay? And in this training, you will uncover your money story. You will learn how to break this cycle, these cycles that we keep reliving all the way from childhood to adult life. And I'm going to show you how that works. And it may be different for you, but I'm just going to show you from my perspective, and then you can apply it to you. Hey, Lori. Amazing. So let me know if you have any questions. I will be answering them at the end, so feel free to jump in at any moment. Don't be shy. I will try. If it makes sense to answer right there, I will. If it doesn't, I will leave it till the end, okay? So what I want you to focus about, so what this training is about, and I just said, uncovering your money trauma, breaking the cycle, and why being financially confident in 2020 and beyond is going to be so important to your growth as a woman, as a mother, as a business owner. If you are a business owner, it is just an overall important mindset that you need to acquire from this moment on, because shit's changing, guys. I think I read a stat, but like 35% of our kids are gonna be in the workforce doing jobs that don't even exist yet. I don't know if that's the correct number, but I know it's a percentage. So that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of things that are going to be shifting from our generation to the next. So this is why I want you to have that mindset in mind. Let me know in the comments If you're enjoying this, give me some love. Share this, guys. If you know anybody that would benefit from this, bring them on to Momlenials. Let them see this training. And I promise I will do this again in a pre-recorded one with the content that I had planned. I'm looking at it right now. I just won't be able to share it with you. Hey, Tori, nice to see you. So what is this training not about? This training is not about selling you an opportunity. This training is not about making a quick buck and how to survive because you can't afford to pay your bills. Like, it really is not about that. I'm not trying to sell you anything on this. What I'm trying to do is get you to start thinking about why you are where you are right now. If you're struggling to pay your bills, if you are not able to sell your product or service, if you are not in control of your finances, I want you to think about why this is, okay? And this is what I want you to start working through in your mind and get really excited about it, guys, because this is the work that I've been doing. And it is fucking hard. It is not simple. It is not easy. It is hard work. But I'm telling you, once you do it, you feel the power that comes from just knowing what you can be doing. Okay, and there's so much that we can be doing. Thanks, Jennifer, for the love. You're the bomb.com. I'm so excited. So what is your money story, guys? Let's start there. Okay, what is your money story? And I want you to start thinking about this. What comes up for you? Okay, what comes up for you when you think about the word money, finances, taxes, bills, investments? Come up with the words. Come up with the words that come up in your mind. Okay, what are the words? What are the words? I can give you a list of words, but I want you to write them down first before I share my list with you, because I want them to come out of you. Okay, so what are the words that you resonate with, that you feel deeply when somebody says, oh, your bill's due. Oh, it's time for paying the taxes. Oh, I got a mortgage and I'm struggling, or whatever. Whenever you think of money, what does it make you feel? I'm going to start sharing kind of the words that come up for me and a lot of the people that I work with, okay? Shame, fear, avoidance, discomfort, guilt, unworthiness comes up, okay? I'm not worthy of making more money. I'm ashamed of not having my finances in check. Who can agree with that? Raise your hand. Give me some love. Be honest. This is a safe place. I was there and still struggle, guys. This is not like when you are healing years and years of conversations in your mind, in your surroundings around what money is and how it affects you. It takes a long time. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight, and this is why I want you guys to start thinking about how this is affecting you. Okay, so why are we living in such a time that brings up all these things, right? Like, there's so many resources. Like, we should have our shit together when it comes to money, right? Like, we're women, we're empowered, we should have our shit on point. Wrong. For the same reason that we are in this era of empowerment, it is the same reason that we keep most quiet about what's really going on behind the scenes in the privacy of our life, when we are struggling to get by, when we are in a financially abusive relationship, or when we are controlled and manipulated by money. Because, well, where do you go in an empowered community, in an empowered country, that you are supposed to be this woman that got her shit together, right? Like, you started your own business, or you're a mom, or you're a professional. Like, you should have your shit together. Like, you're almost 30, if not 40, if not however old you are, right? Like, you should, okay? So we keep telling ourselves these, and the more quiet we become about our money story, which means we internalize it, which means that we fall further and further and further behind. Instead of healing, we just keep re-traumatizing ourselves, okay? And I use trauma because, you know what? Money is a very emotional topic, okay? And I'm going to share some stories. So let's begin, guys, because it's funny. Well, we've already begun. So ask yourself, and I'm going to share with you as I ask you these questions, because I want you to come up with your own kind of answer and really think about it. And guys, if it doesn't come up for you now, I ask you, like, sit down at the end of the day when you're alone and your kids are not hanging on from you, you know, whatever that may look like, where you get peace of time, if it's not right now. And it is to, number one, breathe. Okay, 'cause I get excited and I forget to breathe. Okay. So what I want you to ask yourself is, what is your first memory about money? Think back, think back, think back, dig, 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 and think about what your first memory of money is. Okay? I'll give you 2 seconds because I really want you to think about this. I really want you to get it out of yourself. When was the last, like, your earliest memory? Okay? I'm going to share with you my earliest memory. My earliest memory, hey Reese, my earliest memory about money was when I had little coins in my piggy bank. I'm from Colombia and I grew up very poor. And I remember my dad and my mom, I don't know who it was, they were saying we don't have money for food today. And I said, it's okay, let's break my piggy bank, let's go buy food. And we did. We ended up going to buy hot dogs. And I remember that so vividly because I felt so proud of myself because I had money to help feed my family. And that was really, that stuck with me and has stuck with me throughout my whole life, about money not being enough and then me having to be responsible for saving my family from starvation, really. And of course, as a kid, we internalized this differently, right? So that's one of my earliest memories. Now, I want you to think about that, okay? Sit with that, write that down. If you didn't get an answer to that, don't worry, watch the replay, come back around to it, you're good, okay? Now, the next thing I want you to think about is, how did your mother and father explicitly talk about money? And I want you to separate the two. I don't want it to make it like they talked about money this way. I want to know what your mom talked about money like and what your dad talked about money like, because they have different impacts on how we think about money and how we think about and how we live out our money issues. So I want you to think about that. Hey, Kim. So today we're talking about becoming financially confident. I'm sorry I had technical difficulties, so I'm literally like, I don't have a presentation up like I had planned because I can't share my screen. Good times. Thanks, Facebook. Okay, so how did your mother talk about money? Okay, so I'm going to share with you. I'm going to get deep, guys. Deep, deep, deep. And I want you to get just as deep because I've been doing this work, and this work is hard because you got to uncover, dig, 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 dig. Okay, so my father, I grew up seeing my father be very emotional about money. If we had money, we were so happy. So happy. There would be barbecues and there'd be parties and there'd be dancing and there'll be singing and and my dad just like shined when there was money. But there was no money. My dad was a cloud of anger, aggression, and hate for the world. Okay? And I went from seeing this man who just like shined and had fun and loved me when he was in his best state to someone who would be emotionally, physically abusive when he was in his worst state. And it was always, if not very explicitly, because of money. Okay? So you got to understand what that can do to a child. Okay? So I want you to think about what your father figure was like with money. Were they irresponsible? Were they always saying it's never enough, there's never enough, or don't worry, or we don't talk about it? So think about how your father used to talk about this, okay? Now I'll give you and now think about your mother, okay? How did your mother explicitly think about money, okay? Hey, Shanra. How did they think about money? Because what you want to do is separate the two and understand how each affected you, because they all affect us in different ways, okay? Our fathers usually represent safety, security, support, because you know they're the masculine role in our life, and then the female usually represents like how we see ourselves. So we create community, trust, loyalty, love. We learn from them, you know. So that's how you want to start. Hey, Evelyn, that's how you want to, I suggest you guys, if you're just hopping on, guys, go back to watch the replay after, because this is pretty awesome. Amazing. So happy. Thanks, Evelyn. So I'll share with you how my mother saw money. My mother just turned a blind eye to money. She did not know. She considered herself not educated enough to take care of finances, to look at them. And she was with my father, who pretty much controlled all the money. He took her paycheck, said, this is for the family, this is how we're going to do it, and he made all the decisions. So for my mom's side, I saw the opposite of, just giving complete permission to somebody else to hand over her power, financial power, and give it to someone and say, do whatever you know because you're smarter than me. So I saw these two very, very different, highly emotional, highly charged views around money. Okay, and that's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand what is the story that comes from that. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little further down. Now, money is, and the last thing I want you to think about money is how did they act or talk about money? So how do they act about money and around money? Because sometimes we say things, but we act differently, right? So there's a disconnect. So for example, I may say, oh no, we have everything we need. But then I always say, am I going to make the bill today? Am I going to be able to pay this tomorrow? Ooh, can I afford to do that? Can I afford to? So how we talk about money is different than how we act around it. Do you show more respect to people who have a lot of money? Do you feel like you gotta give them a little more respect, or maybe you become a little more quieter? Do you dim your light when you're around someone that has a status that's a little bit higher because of money? So catch yourself, because this is how you act, and you can see this in our parents. How did they act, right? I always understood that to my father, money was very important over anything. It was his safety, it was his security, and if that was not there, he could care less about anything else. Okay, so that translated very powerfully to his children, who also felt the importance and the authority and the power that came with money. Okay, so I want you to understand, Evelyn, yeah, my mom's the same way. I agree. Most mothers, most women have given up their financial power, which can end up in two extremes, right? We either are super controlling of money and are like, sorry, no, 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 and we become super protective. Still, that is creating a shell to protect you. Either we give our power away to protect ourselves, or we take complete power to protect us. But both extremes are not good, and I'll explain why. Okay, and I'll explain why. So I want you to, from those things that you brought up in terms of your mother, your father, how they acted, what your first memory of money is, what are the feelings? What does money equal to you? Okay, I want you to think about what money equals to you. Okay, does it equal safety? Does it equal love? Does it equal freedom, security, attention, power? Okay, I want you to think about this because it's so important. It's so important because, guys, a lot of women do not look at their money traumas until some bad shit happens to them. They get divorced. Their husband ends up leaving them and taking all the money. There's a death in the family, and they're like, shit, I don't know what to do. They lose their job, or whatever it is. It usually takes something really big to rock their foundation for them to finally listen. It happened to me. It took me a lot for me to look at my money issues, because most times it's just easy. It's really just easy to turn a blind eye, and there's levels to it. Like, I'm recently separated, and even then I was handing over my power and saying, well, you can kind of figure that out. I don't need to figure that out, right? And then that wasn't good either, right? Now I have to reclaim that again and be like, okay, I gotta take care of my finances, right? I gotta know what I'm doing with my money. So when you have no idea so for me, and I'll give you examples of how this translates, right? So I'm gonna use me as an example. Okay, good. Security, safety. What other guys? Sorry, let's see who's watching. Kim or Jennifer, let me know what feelings come up for you. Like, what does money equal for you? Is it safety, love, freedom, security, attention, power? Okay, for me, I'll be super honest. Having my parents in this dynamic and having them play out these things in front of me of power struggle and all that, money always felt like power. It always felt like power, and it always felt like a necessary evil. It's like, okay, we need money to survive, so that's good. We need a survival thing, but it's evil. It's not good. It makes people do bad things or act badly if they don't have it, or act, aggressive or whatever it was, right? So understanding, for me, it was about, I never felt safe if I didn't have money. I never felt secure if I never have money, and I felt powerless if I didn't have money. So what that did to me, and I'll show you how it translated into me, because I pretty much, oh, so I feel so bad I don't have the presentation to show you because it kind of nails it down. But basically, I became obsessed with needing to make money, and I knew I needed to work really, really, really hard for it, really hard, because I knew it was not going to be easy, because men have money, women don't. That was how I grew up thinking. Men have money, and if we're lucky, we get with someone who has enough money and is willing to support us and be with our dream and give us what we want, right? But I was like, I did not want to go into that. I was like, nope, that's not what's going to happen to me. So I started working really hard, okay? I started working really hard. By the age of 14, I started working weekends, 5 a.m., country style. If anybody know country style, that's where I was working. And I would hold it up to my teenage years, up to my early adulthood. I would hold 2 to 3 jobs down while going to school because I needed to feel secure. I needed to feel safe that money was coming in. I was not looking at making money smartly or how to make money like so that I wasn't working 2 to 3 jobs. I just said, I need to make money, so I'm going to work really hard and survive, okay? And survive. And yet, I could not find that. That didn't give me any security. That didn't give me any safety. I was exhausted. I was still lacking so much more, okay? And I hope that this makes sense for you guys. Hey, Tammy. So Evelyn says, since small, I was always financially dependent. With my first marriage, I gave the power only because I wasn't working and he was the breadwinner. My second marriage, I was included in the financial state. You know, it's crazy, but when you know, I spent most of my childhood reliving my relationship with money with my partners, and I did the same thing. In one relationship, I would be my mother, where I would give up my complete financial power and say, well, they have the money, so they can take care of me. And then the other ones, I'd be like, no, I'm gonna take care of it, and you're not gonna touch it, and you're not gonna, and then I'd be super defensive, and it, again, both ways, it would ruin the relationship. Okay, and it would ruin me because I wasn't healing. I was just replaying cycles of my trauma. Okay, so I really want you guys to understand that asking yourself what your money traumas is. Welcome, Tammy. Welcome, Sarah. If you are going to be watching the replay, please do, because it's going to be amazing. Okay. So what I understood from a really early age was that my freedom depended on me having money in my pocket. But what did freedom mean? And at what cost was it going to come to me? So the cost of me finding this freedom was I was going to work my ass off harder than anybody else, and I would burn out. I would literally get home at the end of the days on the weekend, and I had no children at this point, and I was just burnt out. My body physically hurt from working as a hostess, a bartender, a restaurant salad maker, and then going to school for my degree, and then going to a dance class to teach, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I was working like an animal. And it wasn't until I got into motherhood and I literally had to stop because I had to take a year off everything, school, work, life, and focus on my child, that I was like, holy shit, what is this? Who am I when I'm not making income? Who am I when I'm completely dependent on my partner? This new level of trust, this new level of trust that I have to build with him and not feel secure and safe. So guys, what I want you to ask yourself is, what is that? What does money equal to you? And I want you to dig deep, guys. There is levels to the layers of what money can do to us, okay? I really want you to ask yourself those questions. So what are my money traumas? And I'll share with you, and my money cycles, okay? This is how my money cycles play out. This is how you can start looking at your own money cycles. Sorry, I have so much written. So the reason I want you to look at these is because once you realize that they're there, you can see how they play out in your daily life. You can see how they play out in your overall life. So I find like my cycles are like 3 years long. My longest relationship was with my past partner. It was almost 5 years. Also comes from a lot of, you know, traumas that I've had growing up about never seeing a healthy relationship. So for me, relationships are still very hard. They're still very much something I'm trying to get better at and stuff like that. So yeah. So here are my cycles. I always lived in survival mode. I don't know anything else out of survival mode. Okay. I'm always comfortable at just barely making ends meet. I've always been there. I've always been that comfortable because that's what I've known my whole life. And what makes me uncomfortable is having too much money in my account. When I have too much money in my account, you know what I do? I anxiously spend. Who here does that? When they have money in their account, all of a sudden they're like, oh, it just disappeared in 3 days because all of a sudden you bought all these things because you needed them and your money's gone. So you're spending because you are comfortable at keeping your account at zero or at negative. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Let me know if that makes sense, if that resonates with you, okay? Because that was me, and trust me, guys, these is something that I'm still working on. I'm still processing, and yeah, you just get better at handling your cycles, and they become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and they don't affect you as much, okay? And I'm gonna tell, and we're gonna move on from there. So the next cycle I have is money is such an emotionally triggering thing, and when I look for security, I consciously and subconsciously use my body as a transactional tool to feel what money could not give me. And I've realized now for the first time in my whole life that I did not feel that I had the power in money, but I always had a power with my body. So I would use it as a transactional tool to replace the fact that I didn't have money, to get that security, safety, love, attention that I couldn't get from not having money. Does that make sense? So that's just another cycle that I have, okay? So I want you guys to understand your cycle. So how do you understand your cycle is look at where you are consistently, your cycles repeat very often.
We can start to heal them. And the only way to heal them is to find ways to understand them, forgive them, and start modifying our behavior. Behavior modification is super important, but that's very technical, and that's something that I do work with my clients on because it is something that I've learned and absolutely love to do with myself, and I've it's really healed in such a deep way. Oh my God, don't kill me. Today's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm so surprised that everything's just not working. Okay, but what we're gonna do, we're just gonna continue. And let me share my last trauma cycle is that I have to work really hard to get anything I want. So, and I'm sure a lot of us feel this way. It is, we feel like if we are not working 12 hours a day, pushing buttons and doing something and putting content out and doing this and doing that, or going to that third job or going to that first job that we hate, we are not making, like, we're not gonna make money. So we get anxious, So I know that feeling of like having to work really hard, okay? Trust me, you know, I've been there, I really have. So what I want you guys to think about now is I know it's a lot to unpack, especially if you've never looked at your money traumas, okay? When I first realized this, how impactful money affects my sexuality. It affects how I enjoy sex. Like, there's deep levels to this. It affects how I connect with the opposite sex. It affects how I raise my child, you know? Because if I let my money anxiety speak for me, it would probably spoil the shit out of my child. It would probably be like, you can have everything in the store, even if I break my back to get it for you, right? Because that's a money anxiety that's a money trauma that we've been raised with. It affects absolutely every part of my being, right? So how can we not look at this, right? How can we not look at this and think about it in a deep way and say, wow, I really need to heal this. Okay, I really need to heal this. So what I want you guys to do now is I want us to shift the perspective, because money is paper, okay? And yes, it's like just, oh, well, and listen, I'm telling this from someone who hasn't made it. Like, I'm not living in a mansion. I'm not like, you know, some guru on top of the hills in California or wherever there's hills. I don't know, LA, where people go live after they make a lot of money. I mean, hope I will one day, don't get me wrong. But I wanted to say it to you now because I'm not bullshitting you, okay? I'm not bullshitting you when I say this, okay? I've learned that money is an exchange of energy. Everything, absolutely everything that we do with money, it's just an exchange of energy. The paper is paper. And at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're exchanging energy. It's a transaction of me serving you and you serving me, and it keeps moving, and it reciprocates into the world, and it moves, and it doesn't, and it shouldn't be put into a place where it becomes stale, okay? So, hey, Carrie, what's up, girl? What happens when, what is financial freedom, okay? What is financial freedom, and why I don't like that phrase, okay? Financial freedom is tied up, and I grew up thinking I wanted to be financial free. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait till I get that job and go to university, get that career, start making money so that I can spend it, go on vacation, do this, do that, do all these fun things, right? Even a business. Oh, I can't wait till I start a business so that I can finally make money, give myself treats, take myself out, go to get that Gucci, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to get, doesn't matter. So we have these ideas about freedom, like permission, giving ourselves permission to not have to think about, can we afford this? Can we afford that? Can we do this? Right? But financial freedom is like this goal that's like over here, right? And it's always, and it's problematic. It's really, really problematic, okay? Because most of us have money tied up with our identity, okay? And what I mean by our money tied up with our identity is that when we don't have enough money in the bank account, we think we're broke. We're broke. We're poor. We're unworthy. We don't deserve good things. I can't afford these things. It's all I, me, broken, not enough. So we all tie our money problems or decisions and choices to ourselves. So when you become the problem, how can you grow out of it? Does that make sense? So when you become the problem, how can you outgrow this problem? So this is the problem, is that we've all become, especially as women, because we're so emotionally charged when it comes to money, because it's such a security thing for us, because it's such a safety thing for us, we hit rock bottoms where if we don't have it, we don't know how to get out. We don't know how to succeed from there. We don't know how to climb and stop being in survival mode, okay? But what I can tell you is that me, myself, from being in that survival mode and from hitting that rock bottom and really feeling like I lost everything and I'm still rebuilding from this, okay, is that we gotta separate our money from our identity and from ourselves. Our money problems is not us. I am not broke. My bank account may be broke, but I'm not broke. Does that make sense? My visa may be going in debt, but I'm not debt. I'm not the debt. So separating our identity from our money problems is the #1 step that you need to be doing today. Today, this moment, from this moment forward, I want you to pledge that you will not, you'll start to slowly separate and just, it's like stuck together. So you gotta separate. It's really hard because we've been doing it our whole life. We've heard our parents say how they are, you know, how they're broke, there's not enough, we don't make enough money, we don't do this, we can't afford that. So I want you to stop putting money and you together. Can that be done? Give me some love if that is something that you are going to implement today. Because separating ourselves and our identity from the money problem is the #1 step that you can take to start getting into a better mindset. Okay, getting into a better mindset. Now, I'm still working on a lot of my traumas. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I got it all figured out, okay guys, I'm not. But I have worked on separating myself from my money problems. And that has helped me because now I come from a place, everything I create comes from a different place. It doesn't come from the I that's broke, the I that's in debt, the I that doesn't have enough, the I that has scarcity, the I that is surviving. But now it's coming from the I that I really am, which is I am creative. I am empowering. I have a voice. I have things within me that make me filthy fucking rich. Can we agree with that? Can we agree with that? Because I'm sure if you dig into who you are, you're fucking filthy rich, okay? In ways that you have not even realized yet, okay? So what I want you to do is, we are living in a fucking shell of who we are. We're living in a shell of who we are. And it's like an onion. I'm just gonna peel away the onion skin and peel and peel and peel. And guys, it is painful to peel. Because every day, I'm not gonna lie, some days I'm like, I'm so raw, I feel like a gush of wind is gonna burn, okay? Because I peel at the layers of the person that I've been forced to become because of my money traumas, to become who I really, really, really deeply, deeply believe I am, okay? So I really want you guys to understand that this is a journey, and this is a journey that takes time, it takes love, it takes patience to undo the trauma that comes from how you grew up around money. Okay, for those of you just tuning in, Lizette, welcome, Vanessa, Brittany, we're talking about financial freedom versus financial confidence. And if I will be putting all these parts together for you guys, because unfortunately tech is not my bestie today. And if you believe in Mercury retrograde, I think it's like happening this whole month, so yeah, it could be why. So most likely it is. So what I want you to think about is, we're peeling away the layers of this onion, and as you peel, it's gonna feel very painful because you're gonna have to look at things about yourself that are not so pretty, and you have to get radically honest, okay? Radically, radically honest. In my separation, I've refused to turn to my parents for safety of money when I felt like I was scared I wasn't gonna make the sale or get enough in my bank account. And I said, no, I'm gonna figure this out on my own, because my money trauma wants to run to the safety blanket that they always know, or that they want to be the victim and ask for handouts or for support in ways that to kind of bail the me that wants to run into that old conversation. But I said, no, I'm gonna handle this on my own. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna come from a place of who I really am, and it's not gonna be scary, okay? So when we separate ourselves from the money identity that we've been raised with, okay, when we peel back and we find our core, and guys, it takes time. I'm still finding my core. I really am. I have not gotten to it, okay? My core is very beautiful. I could already see it, but it's not there yet, okay? I'm definitely a work in progress as well. So I urge you to know that I'm there with you, okay? Now, I want you to remember, money does not equal you. Say that with me. Money does not equal me. Money is completely separate from me, completely. It has nothing to do with your identity. It has nothing to do with your value, your self-worth, what you are capable of, what creativity you have within you, how smart you are, absolutely nothing. So I want you to stop thinking about becoming financially free, because financially free requires this path to this thing that requires you to invest in the market and invest in real estate and become this person that, you know, is gonna have the money to invest and have savings and retirement funds and not have to think about money because you're free from money. Well, no, that's not how it works. And we're all adults here, right? We're all adults here, and we know that was bullshit, that we were kind of sold a lie about this financial freedom we were gonna attain, right? Am I right? Thank you, Evelyn. No, money does not equal you. Your account in your bank account does not equal you. Your negative zeros does not equal you, okay? At all. So what I want you to do now is understand that I want you to take financial freedom away from your mind. You are not going to be, I can die by the time I figure out how to invest my money, okay? Literally. Like, I have no idea how to invest. I have no idea how to invest in real estate, let alone how to fucking, you know, anything when it comes to the way money used to be to give me this financial freedom where I can do GICs and all this bullshit that I don't know anything about, right? So if you come from a place where you know nothing about this, how can you start to become financially free? And that was my pickle. I was like, how the hell do I start? I go to every financial advisor and they all say the same shit. You need to do this, this, and that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really help me because my money shit doesn't allow me to. Like, I need to build my own way of growing in this world, of becoming financially independent. Okay? So this is where I thought about, and I really put time in, and I said, I want to become financially confident. Now, what is financially confident? Think about it this way, okay? Financially confident is, where did I write this? Because I had like such a nice definition. Okay, hold on. It's about building equity in ourselves, okay? Because anything that you put into yourself cannot be taken out. Can someone say, well, you spent time on living your passion, or like writing that book that you wanted, or like, you know, going back to school to cook and become the baker that you truly, truly wanted. See, when we were sold the financial freedom dream, we were told that we had to find a job that was gonna fit the market so that we can make good income and money, okay? So when you are fed this dream that somehow you have to break your back doing something you probably don't like, if you had found a job in corporate maybe, or if you found a job doing something you really hated, but you did it anyway because you know what, it was a steady paycheck. My dad still says that to me, by the way. He's like, my dad's a cleaner, by the way. He's been a cleaner most of his life. He's a smart human, but he will never leave that stable paycheck, even if it doesn't make him enough, because that's his blanket of security, okay? But I do not want that to be my life. So I decided to step outside the norm. I decided to build equity in myself. And that means different things for different people, okay? There's not a one-size-fits-all model to becoming financially confident, okay? And what I want you to think about is you don't want to wait to have this plan where you finally make enough money and you're living to finally make enough money to invest, save, and do all these things because it's outside of you. The stock market crashes and we can lose everything. Let's say you do get your dream, right? Your dream of financial freedom, and you do all and you play your cards right and you finally put money into the market and you invest in real estate, and then boom, gone. Because there's a financial crisis. What do you do then? Now, I'm not trying to get sassy with you guys, but I'm just trying to make you understand that there is nothing more powerful than building equity in yourself. And when I think about financial confidence, this is what I think about, okay? You can put me, take my clothes away, rip everything that I am, take this Pandora necklace, take all these nice Pandora earrings, take everything, the rings, my clothes, my makeup, everything, and I could be left at my core. You can put me in the desert, and I could have no water. But I built enough equity in myself, in my financial confidence, to know that I will build myself up from there. From being in a place with absolutely nothing, where nothing was given to me. Because I learned skills that are within me. How to negotiate, how to sell, and how to communicate, how to help people, how to be of service, how to be kind, how to stand up for myself. All these things that you grow into that people do not learn and take as important. Negotiation, guys. I learned how to negotiate for myself, and it was a game changer. And can anybody take that away from me? No. You can put me in the middle of the desert and I can sell water. What was it? And I can sell you sand. I think that's the saying. I don't know. I'm not good with sayings. Okay, I'm Colombian. Excuse me. So what I want you to think about is, can you survive if everything, what is in you, what is within you that you can, that you love, that you are passionate about, that you can build from, that's going to give you the confidence that if everything was ripped outside of you, that if everything was gone, that if you had to start from zero, because let's say you had to run away and you ended up in the desert, I don't know, but you had nothing but yourself in that moment, can you still believe that you can build yourself up from that ground up? See, and that's the thing that keeps us going. That's the thing that gets me to wake up every morning and know that I am not wasting my time. That even if I didn't close a sale on that day, that I didn't waste my time. That even if I've struggled emotionally, mentally through personal things, that nothing is a waste of my time, because everything that I am absolutely doing, the clients I take on, the courses that I take, the coaching clients, the coaching that I get personally from other mentors and stuff, it's all worth it. Absolutely all worth it, because it's all going into me. Because I'm not going to depend on a system that it's rigged to make me lose. I'm going to depend on me, because I am the system that I can only believe in, and it's myself. Can you agree with that? Does that make sense, guys? Does that resonate with you? Can you understand why the importance of, you know, we spend so much time trying to save and so much time trying to not take risks that are too risky, yet we are always living paycheck to paycheck, right? Like, we're always saying, well, I can't invest in myself, or I can't do this, I can't go back to school, or I can't take that course, or I gotta work really hard and not get help. Guys, mentorship changed my fucking life. I can't even say this enough. And I started working for free for mentors because I had no fucking money, okay? I was a new mom. I was not gonna spend, I had no money to my name because my partner was the only one working, okay? I started working for free, doing VA work to get mentoring. I was scrappy and resourceful as fuck, okay? And I learned everything I could on YouTube until I could build my name up, okay? I'm being brutally honest with you guys, because I love you all. I'm in this, I've created this community because I love the humans in here, because I only work with people who are hungry and kind and have integrity and have passion for what we do. But I want you guys to start working for goals that matter. And the only goal that matters, the only thing that's gonna move the dial forward for you, is to start moving into a state of financial confidence. When you move into a state of financial confidence, the world is your oyster. Everything you do is a learning experience. Everything you take on is a pleasure, the good and the bad, because failures teach. Failures teach the best lessons. The best fucking lessons. Okay? So guys, let me know if this makes sense. If this makes sense. And remember, guys, this is part of a 3 live Facebook series. I'm hoping that this won't happen in the next one, that I could actually share my slides with you, and that I can actually, you know, have it like I planned out. But what I want you guys to get from this live is to really understand that you are the power. You are the security. You are the authority that you're looking for, that you are looking for in money. Money is just an exchange of energy. And if you start treating your money, your time and your life and your day-to-day with more respect, with more, adding more value to yourself, the higher you will be worth in terms of the frequency of how you show up in the world. Guys, I used to not be able to read publicly, and my voice would shake. It would be like, I'd be like, it's just might sound like a responsibility, and like, literally, I would shake and like almost start to cry, because first of all, I had a really bad accent growing up, so people made fun of me. And because I was just not confident in my voice. And it took work for me to get here in front of you and talk to you like this. It took years for me to be here and sit in front of you. And I've read the books, and I've gotten the mentoring, and I've done the work to get me to a place where I can heal myself and feel, and I'm still healing, so don't think I'm done, guys. It's a continuous thing, you know? So I want you guys to understand that you are the money. You are the power that you need to feed. You are the bank. You want to put some money into it? Put your money into yourself. It's not selfish. Listen, I get it. If you're a mom and it's guilty and it's like, fuck, how can I afford this? Everything is figure outable. Do you know Marie Forleo? Look her up. She wrote a book that says everything is figure outable. I literally, before she even came up, that's how I roll. That's like my life motto. She just put it into a beautiful phrase. But everything is figure outable. Okay, absolutely everything, guys. I grew up in a very highly toxic, emotionally intense home where money was the end all and be all, because without it, we were miserable. Okay? So I'm coming from a place that I've experienced a lot of pain because of money. And I'm coming to a place where I don't let money become a part of my identity. Money does not dictate how I show up in the world. Having zero in my bank account doesn't mean that I treat people badly, or that I don't show up very well that day, or that I slack off on my business, or that, no. It just means that I work that much better and that I'm gonna come in, again, how can I serve you? So I want you to remember that. How are you showing up in the world when your account's at zero? Are you working from your most creative space? And as you ask yourself these questions, become curious. Become curious about who you really are under that shell that unfortunately we've had to grow up to be, to survive, to protect ourselves, whatever story we tell ourselves, okay? I'm so glad Chachi says, I feel that, amazing. So, you know, I really want you guys to take this training and make it more than just a thing you hear once and forget about. I hope that you took notes. I hope that you are able to see the power in taking a look at these money traumas, okay? I am so proud that you guys are here, that you stuck by even all through the technical difficulties. Evelyn, a huge shout out to you, mama. You are powerful, and I see you walk into the world. I see you fight to get where you want to get, and know that you are fully supported and so loved through it all, and that you are so welcome in this group. And I'm hoping to make this more, like, I just want to give as much value as I can in this group, because I want to see the world change. I want to see women step in front of the world and make the moves that they want to make, and not from a place of dependence on anyone or fear or, you know, anything like that. I want it to be from a place of love and abundance and creativity and power. And we create so much more beautifully when we come from that place. I know I do. And I see everyone that comes and creates beautiful things. I realize that they do it because they've stopped identifying with money as the thing that controls how they show up in the world and how they make decisions and how they live their life. Something as simple as, you know, what's funny, sometimes when I didn't have money, I used to just eat crap. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna open that tuna can and like have it. Like, there's no money to buy anything, so I'm not gonna make myself something nice. You know what I do now, or like, let's say I could, and I started to do, and the moment I started to do it, I realized it's like, it's a change in attitude. It's a change in attitude. So my change in attitude was, I'm gonna use what I have in my kitchen and I'm gonna make something really beautiful, creative, and delicious. And all of a sudden, I stopped getting down on myself, like, oh, I wanted to make this, but like, I don't have the money for it, or like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have. And I just started to make more beautiful things for myself, even with the limited amount of things that I had in my fridge. And that is a simple thing I started to do, and it just showed myself love and a treatment of myself that was like, you deserve good things always, no matter how much money you have in your bank account. I hope this makes sense, guys. Thank you, Evelyn. It means so much. Honestly, I love you guys all. I am so happy you guys stood by as I shared this with you. I hope that you got a lot of good nuggets from this. Feel free to ask any questions right now. I'll stay on for another 2-3 minutes if you have any questions in terms of asking me anything, or asking you, or kind of questions about what we just worked on, how you can go deeper into it. Anything like that, I'm so happy to support you in any way I can. I do want to remind you that this is the first of a 3-part series. So I'm really, 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 really excited about that. Okay, I'm really, really excited because I will be doing one next week and then the one after that. So I hope that this made sense. I hope that, you know, you got as much information as you can from this, and I would love to hear your feedback. If you're watching the replay, let me know. I'm gonna find a way to put all these videos, these 2 videos together so that it's cohesive. And then, yeah, I'm gonna share my short little slides with you. My slides were not in depth, they were just really talking points. But yeah, I'm hoping by next week I can figure out the technology thing so that, you know, I can actually share my slides, because like they were gorgeous, you know. So yeah, watch the replay. This is a 3-part series. This is part 1. It's just broken down into 2 because of technical difficulties. We talked about financial confidence, we talked about money trauma, and we really dug deep because I want you guys to ask yourselves some hard questions, right? Because remember, we are passing on our traumas to our children. And I don't know about you, but me having a kid, it changed my mind. It changed my life. It made me so conscious about my role in her life that I realized I had to look. I could no longer act like I was blind. You know, I couldn't do it anymore. So I encourage you guys that if you're anything like me, to be in this group, stay tuned, invite your friends. If you found this useful, please comment below, give me some love, because that way we can get more people to see this video and to really stay and watch the whole thing. Remember, I will be sharing this this video again. Maybe I'll put it in I think you can do like play show or something like that and put them together. I don't know, I'll figure something out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, as I was a bobbing head the whole time instead of the presentation that I had planned for you. And I'm sending you lots of love as always. This is Gisela, the queen of tough love, because I love you all, and I will be here again, so stay tuned. And by the way, if you guys are looking to book a clarity call with me, let me know, and DM me, I'm here. Okay, bye loves, have an amazing day.